Hi guys, welcome back to On and Off the Couch. My name is Maggie and today's topic is gonna be books. Today's topic is gonna be books, and more specifically the books that have stayed with me and are my most favorite, my all-time favorite up until this point. And I got quite a lot to cover, by the way. And I hope that I communicate well how much they left an impression on me. Some of them I don't remember that much because I've read them in a very long while, very long time ago, and but they're in my all-time favorites because I do remember the feeling and how strong it was when I was reading the book, so that's why they're here. And I will try to give you a sense of what's the book about and how it makes you feel. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first books I'm going to mention, by the way, I just want to say that there are all kinds of books in here, just to to give you a heads up. And the first ones I'm going to mention are the Chronicles of Narnia. Now, I know these are children's books, but for me, Chronicles of Narnia were what Harry Potter was for everybody else. And interestingly enough, I actually started reading them after I watched the movie. And when I watched the movie, it was so incredible to me. The whole story, the storyline, the way that, Lucy finds herself in this magical land, and the adventures that the kids have, and just the prophecy around them, the way that it's the way that it ends is just so magical, so full of wonder. And I don't know, it kind of gave me the chills a little bit when I was a kid, and it was this incredible feeling, to have, three other siblings with you and to have this incredible destiny. I love the movie so much. I bought the books. I love the books so much that I now have them in 3 languages, one of which is in Italian somewhere here. Hold on. Look how pretty. It's the 5, no, not 5, how many are there? It's the 7 books in here, and yeah, it's amazing. And because I have them in English, Italian, and Bulgarian, I can actually read, one to the other and actually learn the language. I mean, I can speak it a little bit, but not as best as my mom can. I was a little put off by the fact that it has a very much of a religious note to it, which is a little bit it's a little bit off-putting for me. You should be off-putting.
You shouldn't say that. That's off-putting.
You should be off-putting.
Anyway, because I'm not really that much of a religious person. However, I whined about that for half a minute, and then I didn't stick to that. Then it in the end, it didn't really matter to me all that much, because the books for me are just they're the best. The next book is A Man Called Ove. It's by Frederick Backman, an amazing author. I've read Bear Town by him, and also Grandma Says Hi and Apologizes. I think it's in English. But this is the book that he's like his most famous one, the most appreciated one maybe. It's about a guy, a grandpa, who is very mad at the world and lacks order, lacks certain things that are in order, and he's so mad at the world by now that he wants to part with it. However, he gets rather preoccupied and just and the book also tells about his life so far, and and now, and it's just at times so funny, and it's sad, and it's heartbreaking, and it's wholesome, and it's bittersweet, and it's just an incredible journey to go through, and I would recommend it to read it. It's so beautiful. There is a movie. There are two movies actually. One is with Tom Hanks, and I absolutely boycotted it. And the other one is a Swiss movie. Frederick Beckman is a Swiss author, and this takes place in Sweden. That movie is much more authentic than the American one, and the American one is not actually called A Man Called Ove, it's something else. A Man Called something else, which is so frustrating. You have a book. If you're gonna do this, go buy the book. I don't see why it's that hard. Just go buy the damn book. There's so many movies in Hollywood or TV series, but mostly movies that have books to go buy and they don't, and I don't understand that. Go buy the freaking book. And yeah, that's Man Called Ove. The next book we're gonna talk about is Stephen King's fairy tale. Awesome book. No, this is not a scary one. This is, as it says, a fairy tale, and there is a dog, and I remember that much, and I remember how I felt about that dog, and that I felt with so many mixed feelings, but good ones. It's not a bad one. It's not Cujo. It's good ones. And it's about this kid that goes and helps his neighbor, meets the dog, and starts helping him with all kinds of things, I think. And by the end, they become so close, have such a close relationship, that the old guy leaves him some kind of tape or letter, I'm not sure, I don't really remember, about the shed that he has, and how in the shed there's a portal to another world. Guys, I can't believe this was written by Stephen King. There is not one scary thing about it, at least I don't remember. And the story is so, it was so good. It had me turning the next page with impatience to see what happens next. And it ends so great. I was so happy and relieved, and it once again had such a wholesome ending that it stayed with me and is now in my all-time favorites. Okay, the next one is Song of Achilles, and I'm actually gonna leave the better edition somewhere here, because I have her other book, the author's other book. The author is Madeline Miller, and this is Circe, which looks incredible. And the Song of Achilles is similar to this one, but it's in blue, and I would absolutely purchase that edition. But Song of Achilles is an incredibly beautiful book. It's this thin, and it has you feeling these incredibly powerful emotions. It's the story of Achilles, but it's from the point of view of Patroclus. Patroclus. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to translate that, how to say that in English. But I don't exactly remember what it was happening, but I do remember that the book left an incredible impression on me because the story was so well written. It was such a refreshing take on Achilles' story and seen through his, his friend's eyes, and it was so powerful. It was so well written, and I would absolutely implore you to go and just read the description of the book for yourselves, because I don't think I will do it justice, and I don't think that the description of the book does it justice. It was such an incredibly powerful read for me personally, and I would absolutely recommend this 100 times over. The next book we have is called Shantaram, and it's really interesting because it's a autobiography as of sorts. I think I'm almost like 99% certain. Masked in a really interesting story, kind of. I'm saying this because I don't read autobiographies. I find them boring for the most part. I don't. It's just not for me. But this book, I devoured. It's about a guy from Australia that was in prison in Australia and escapes prison, goes to India, and finds friends who each have such incredible stories, and he himself goes and just kind of inserts himself in all those stories. The friends that he finds, some are foreigners, some are not, and once again you have this you have an adventure, but it also brings factors of real life things that are happening, and it's such an interesting read. It's such an interesting read. The things that happen to him, the things he does, the way the story is told, it's so gripping. Was gripping a word? I think gripping. And I would absolutely recommend reading this. I know this is the first book. I know there's another one. I haven't read the second one. I don't think I've heard the kind of strong arguments for it. But this one I would definitely recommend. And for each of these books, I would at least recommend go and read their description, what they're about, because unfortunately I've read all of these. I mean, unfortunately I can't. I'm not sure I'm able to give them the rights to do them justice in a way, because they're all so incredible in their own way, and I think that just kind of reading the description would also give you kind of a direction of what is happening. Because I'm mostly trying to communicate the feeling, because that's what I'm going off. That's why they are my time favorites. And I'm trying to kind of give some information without spoiling anything. So yeah, next book. I just want you to see how it looks. This was Baretta's changing teeth period, and the book kind of was damaged during that time. But nevertheless, this is once again kind of an autobiography, but not actually. The book is called Claudius, I think. Hold on. Yeah, it's by Robert Graves. Yeah, and I am not, as I said, a one for reading this type of books, because first of all, it's kind of autobiography one. Second of all, it's there's this historic theme to it, and I'm also not really into that. But this book, it was so incredibly interesting. Everywhere, page I turned, it's like a new intrigue, a new deception, a new lie, a new scheme, a new something. And there is also another factor here, which is absolutely mind-blowing for me and incredible, which is the factor of the underdog. Everybody, Claudius is born with he has some kind of a defect, a speech defect, I think, and he's shunned. Everybody underestimates him. No one pays him any attention. He's just kind of almost like in the shadows, I think, because nobody's paying attention to him. They don't think him any kind of a threat or something. Nothing, and he ends up being a Roman emperor. Sorry, a Roman emperor. This book, it was incredible. That's the first of the kind that I have read, and I was blown away. Really, I absolutely would recommend this. The next book, it is called, maybe some of you have heard of it at some point. It's called A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I'm not even sure what this was about anymore. I think it was like 5 friends or some friends. Yeah, it was about a group of friends. The way they kind of go through certain events of their life. I'm not doing it justice. This is hauntingly beautiful. It is absolutely heartbreaking. You just cry non-stop for the most part, and yet you don't want it to end. You don't want it to stop. You want to turn the next page, and you want to see what happens. How much more tragically can it happen? And it does. And at the same time, it's so beautiful. It's so well written. The story is just incredible, and it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience, I would say, because this is the kind of book that stays with you. You maybe wouldn't want to read it twice. Maybe you would, but I would just recommend it to experience it at least once. Unfortunately, I can't tell you enough about this book and how great it is. I would absolutely implore you to go and look for it and see for yourself. Just like read the first chapter, and yeah, I would absolutely would love to see if any of these books that I talked about or that I would be talking about have actually sparked any kind of interest in you. The next book we're going to talk about is The Incredible Adventures of Kavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon, and it has the Pulitzer Award, but I'm not sure for which year. But it's an incredible book. It takes place during World War II. The 2 boys, Kavalier and Clay, meet. One has just escaped from Prague, and he's a Jewish who's escaped from Prague, and the other one to New York in America. The other one is his neighbor, and together they start comic books because the second boy is into them, and they start creating them, and it kind of really has a lot of sense of adventure in it, in a time where it seems like there's no adventure, like there's no hope in it, everything is so gloomy and gray. And at the same time, it's not only hopeful, but it has all of the emotions. It's such an incredible roller coaster. You're kind of like surprised by what is happening in the book. I'm not, as I've said before, I'm not doing it justice, but I'm trying not to give anything away, and it's hard. But all I have to say is that this book is, I don't think it's any like the others. It's in its own way. It's very much unique and very special. And as I said with the others, I would absolutely implore you to go and read at least the description. Next book is Secret History by Donna Tartt. This book, for me, it's better than Donna Tartt's Goldfinch. I've read the Goldfinch, I've seen the movie, but unfortunately I have to say this did it better for me than the other one. It's about this guy who, Richard I think it's called, who who starts going, I don't remember the other word, he starts going to this university, and he also gets into this elite kind of group of people. I think it's about 5 or 6, and they're in this very very elite kind of prestigious club. They have a professor who guides them, and they're all about this ancient rituals and languages and whatnot. But there's also this kind of intrigue there, a secret that holds them together. And when I read the description about, this kind of secret society almost, it really grabbed my attention. And I have to say, this book is so interesting. The story is told in a really good way. It's a real page turner, and the ending was absolutely incredible for me. I loved the ending, and I remember how it felt. And when I closed the book, I was like, it was that good. I had to take a breath, because I felt that I've been holding it. It was incredible, an incredible book. I absolutely would recommend. This book has a sentimental value for me because this was the one book that when I got into high school and I started finding my people there, this is, I think, the first book we read together. And I have to say that even though I have sentimental value to it, it's still an incredible book. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I think that a lot of Marcus Zusak's books are really good. I think I've also read I Am the Messenger and Clay's Bridge, also very good. Both of them, I would recommend them. This book is so, it sets you to kind of expect this tragic novel, but it's also very warm and very poetic, and it's quietly heartbreaking. It has all of these incredibly powerful emotions stored in it that it's worth reading it at least once. Next book is Joanne Harris's Different Class. I don't remember this book. All I remember now, Joanne Harris is actually the author that wrote Chocolate, which also has the movie Chocolate with Johnny Depp in it. But these books, the ones about the school, are incredibly heavy, wicked, twisted, and dark at times. And it's heavy to read them, but at the same time you kind of can't pull away to see what happens. And as I said, I don't really remember what this book is about because I read it a long time ago, but it has stayed with me because it was the first book that I read that it was so dark. I don't know why it says that it's it's a psychological thriller. Absolutely, yeah. It says here a quote anyway. But yeah, I would absolutely put it as a psychological thriller. It's about a class in a certain school, a boy that is a troublemaker, twists everything around him, everyone around him. And I have to say this, I need to read this again because I think that reading it now, I might actually have a different opinion than I did, like, 10 years ago. But from that point of view, I remember I felt this incredibly powerful emotion that stayed with me. It was, um, I was just shocked by it, shaken by it, and that's why I would recommend it, because it's just that feeling of leaving you speechless in a way. I would, however, recommend searching for some kind of triggers, because I think this one has, and at that time when I read it, they didn't put all the triggers around the books or whatever. But I think this book or her other ones that are about this school should have some trigger warnings. But yeah, amazing book. The next book, it's called The Sword of Kaigen. It looks like this, by the way. This edition was very good. Good job. Looks like this, and then it looks like this from the sides. Really good. And then once you get in the actual book, I have to show. So it looks like that, and then this, and then this again. Really good edition. Good job. This book, I read this book last year, but it was so damn powerful. It's by M.L. Wang. So it's about this family, a mother and a son that both kind of have to figure out their place, given that the mom was actually a very well trained fighter before she got married, which is something that she hides. A boy that has to figure out his place and be trained, and that strives to be one of the greatest warriors. And a battle that comes their way, an incredible battle. It has a supernatural element to it. This is a fantasy book, and it's all about honor and duty and, power. And it's an incredibly powerful read. It has you on the edge of your seat, turning page after page. It stayed with me days after I read it. Like I kept coming back to certain moments in the book, certain things that happened, how they happened, whether I was sad, whether I was happy. It doesn't matter. I was just coming back to it time and time again because it was so well written and the story was so incredibly good and so powerful, and it at some point it has you grabbed by the throat, almost, kind of you know waiting to see what would happen and with this character or that character, and how would they survive that, would they survive that. Such a powerful read. I would recommend go and checking this out, absolutely. The next one is the one of the it's a trilogy. It's by R.F. Kuang, and it's the Poppy War trilogy. R.F. Kuang, I've read after this Babylon and Catabasis by her. Total miss for me. I didn't like them one bit. But this trilogy, again, supernatural element to it. Again, very powerful. It's about a girl named Rin. She is an orphan. She goes to this prestigious school, a fight school. They learn how to fight there. She has this teacher. She learns about the gods. She learns about the wars. She's bullied there. She's underestimated. Nobody um but because of the way she looks or something, I think. And she learns about the gods, their power. uh there's another city. They're starting to plan. They want to start a new poppy war. These books are so incredibly well written and so good. The character development is absolutely insane. It would get you feeling all kinds of emotions. It will get you questioning every decision probably that the characters make. It will have you by the edge of your seat. It will have you angry at them. It will have you sad. It will have you understand why they do the things they do. I would absolutely reread this at some point someday because I remember how it felt and how good these books were, and they were a real page turner, absolutely. And I would recommend once again go and checking them out. But so yeah, guys, these are the books I would recommend you go and check out. Read the description, read the first chapter, see for yourselves whether this is something that you would like or not. And if you think it is, you can get back to me and tell me what did you think. And I'm gonna leave you now, guys. I hope you have a nice night or the rest of the day wherever you are. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you can like or subscribe. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!